All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing this word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson that Lord willing to do be edifying. And what I want to touch on, it was briefly mentioned at camp last night. You know, us out here at GMS Houston, or in GMS Houston. We have camp on Fridays. And I believe it was the brother Shamala, if I'm not mistaken. But he mentioned how you have some people in the world who was born in vain. You know, who is useless to the story of the Lord, you know. And the thing is, that sparked my spirit to want to do a lesson, because that's true. You know, everybody in this world feel like they was born with a purpose, or, you know, God created me for a reason. Which it is true. You know, everybody do got a role to play. But as far as the important characters in a movie, everybody not important as they would think. You see, and so like you told me in transit, so if y'all have some background noise, forgive me. But, you know, now everybody got a MySpace, a Facebook, a YouTube. It's all about them, right? It's all about them. Everybody think they're important. Everybody want to be an influencer. Everybody got something to say. But really, in the Lord's story, the only people that have been created and was born with a purpose is truly the elect, you know? Now, again, I'm not saying nobody have a purpose. You got the elites, you know, they was born for their purpose of wickedness and Esau. You know, you have, everybody do have a reason they was born and brought into the earth, you know. But as far as forwarding the world, you know, benefiting the world, you know, fulfilling prophecy, you see, serving the Lord, you know, got a main big role in the movie. You have the majority of the people on the earth, they just here to fill space. They background characters. You know, in the movie you had two main characters talking, and you got just people walking in the street in the background, and they kind of blurred out because the camera focused on the main characters. Right, that's everybody in the world. That's the majority of people in the world, man. Especially those who, look, you have people who was literally just born. They went through, you know, their first birthday and kindergarten and pre-K and all that, and school and best friends and birthday parties and all this just to get at, and look, had families just to get at the end of the world, and the Lord just created you to die in missile fire, right? Or you just here to just to die off, you know, to increase the numbers of the deaths in Jacob's trouble. You have a lot of people who don't have, they useless in the world, so to speak. You know, that's what vain mean, useless. And a lot of people are useless. And I see why the elites say they got to kill off a lot of people. You know what it is? They Georgia Guidestones. They got to kill off a lot of people. Right. A lot of people really are useless in this world, if you want to be real. You have people sit on their ass all day, just eat like the TV shows, My 1,000-pound life, My 600-pound life. Get your ass up. You eating all day. You see, you got these gamers. Now, again, if you know, a brother who likes the game and you know, you do the work, cool. But you have people who stream 24/7, they sleep and all that. Man, you got people who really useless in the world, is the point. And that's why the Lord will have to just get them up out of here and restart this thing, you know, with the people who was born with a purpose. Let me get this real quick. This is, let me make the point. I just got the card. Now, first, let me make the point of how you had people who was born with a purpose. And again, that's your elect, man. That's those who came here, was sent down, and they had to follow a role, fulfill a lot of the righteous. So they had to wake up. They had to go through that stage of waking up, Ezekiel 37, right? Coming to the understanding of the truth, repenting, and so on and so forth, doing the work. And ultimately, Lord willing, is going to lead to us being saved. And those who was here to change the world, see, the elect are here for a purpose, for the betterment of the world, life, animals, plants, whatever it is. But you have some people who just taking up space. Let me get this in Romans 8 real quick. It shouldn't be a long one. And then we'll get how the scriptures do say you have people on earth who was created in vain. And vain means useless. This is Romans 8. And let's start, let me see where I'm going to start at. I'm going to start right here. Romans 8, and I'm going to start at 28. It says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are called according to his purpose. You have people who was born with a purpose, right? You have people who was sent in this world with special spirits to do the will of the Lord. So you have people who were sent down to fulfill that purpose, man. It says, and we know that all things work together for the good to them that love the Most High, to them who are called according to his purpose. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son. You had certain people who the Lord knew before the world was created, and he had them spirits to be made perfect like his son. You see? To be made perfect like his son. You know, to go through the role in the likeness of his son, to come down to earth and suffer and earn your reward. Let's read it. It says, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he, talking about Yahweh Shai, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Right? Because it starts with the 144,000 as far as those with a purpose. And it goes on to say, moreover, whom he did predestinate. Now check this out. Let's go through the process of the elect. You know, being in the heavens, being predestinated before anything was. And then what's the next step in that? You eventually gonna have to be sent down on earth and to be called to your purpose. You see? And to be called to your purpose. And then what's after that? To do the work to hopefully justify ourselves. Well, you know, we can't justify ourselves, but that the work can justify us, because if we was chosen from the foundation, we just have to be sent down to do the work to confirm why we was the elect, you know, to fulfill why the Lord chose us in the beginning to be the elect. We came down and did it, just like Yahweh Shai came down and did it, though he was chosen before everything. And then what's the next step? Being saved after all that. That's what this about to go through. These are they who was born with a purpose, who wasn't just sitting here to take up space. You see, who wasn't just sitting here to be an extra, you know, in a Walmart line. No. You see, to be an NPC. We not NPCs, a non-playable character. You know, you go on Grand Theft Auto. You play Grand Theft Auto in certain games, and you got just random people walking on the streets, and you can't play with them right. That's NPCs, non-playable characters. They just walking. You see the people in a car, you take them out, they call, some of them run, some of them try to fight you. But you can't never play with them, because you know why? They not important. They not a part of the storyline. The Lord don't need them. He just needs them to fill space. And it's harsh to say, but you have grown-ass people in this world. I'm talking about bleeding red. You got children who was just born today, yesterday, and they don't mean nothing to the world's story. Think about that. It's harsh to say, but you have people who is born now. Got a birthday today. It don't mean shit to the Lord. Who was born today, the Lord know you. He gonna kill you in the next couple of weeks and months. It's harsh to say, but it's the truth. You got people born today, and the Lord know they just born to get hit with the missiles. But you have people who was born to forward the Lord's story, to keep things going as far as Bible prophecy. But let's finish reading this. This is Romans 8 and 30 again. It says, moreover, whom he did predestinate. See, that's the first step, being chosen before the world. It says, them he also called, right? Once they was born, they was sent into the earth and called to serve the Lord. And what's the next step? It says, and them he also called, them he also justified. So as you was sent to the earth, you grew up, you found out you was an Israelite, you started doing the work. You doing the work and repenting, that's going to justify us in the eyes of the Lord. You see? Because again, if the elect already chosen, they chosen. But what's going, other than Yahweh Shai blood, what's going to clean their slate? You have to do the work. So first they be predestinated, then sent to the earth and called. Now they here on earth doing the work. Lord wouldn't justify. What's the next step? And whom he justified, them he also glorified. Those who will be made perfect in the sight of the world, man, and change to forward the world, to have the continuance of the world going, you know, to help people, like it said in the Wisdom of Solomon 6, that the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. You have people created, certain individuals. And it's crazy because the world don't look at these individuals as anything special. You know, the prophets, the apostles, prophets, but you have men who was created, right, to put their life on the line, one for their nation first and foremost, but really for the whole world, for creation itself, man. Again, you have people who was created to help and assist in turning this world right side back up. Think about it. The world is completely out of order. You have people whose purpose is taking part in getting the world back healthy. That's a big deal, man. That's a big lot to fulfill, and that's a great purpose. But again, on the other side, you ain't gonna have nobody who glorified. You're gonna have people who not even remembered in the story, right? They names ain't gonna be written in the records in the kingdom. They're just randoms. You see, let's get this. Born in vain. Born in vain. The second Ezra's 9, right? The second Ezra's 9. And I'm gonna start up a little bit. So we got the ones who gonna be saved, right? Now let's read the ones who ain't gonna be saved. It says 2nd Ezra's 9. Well, I'm gonna start up 2nd Ezra's 9 and 7. This still going to the ones who had a purpose. And then it's gonna get to the ones who don't have a purpose. 2nd Ezra's 9 and 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, and shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders. For check this out. This the Lord going into the ones he gonna save. It says, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. You have people who was made right and sanctified and made holy and separate since the world was created. The ones who was made with a purpose. Now let's read about the other ones. It says, and then shall they, the other ones, be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. All the plagues that's coming, you go be in them. It says, and they that have loathed my law while they yet had liberty, and while they had yet a place of slacking, and they that have loathed my law while they had liberty, and when as yet a place of repentance was opened up unto them, they understood not, but despised it, and the same must know it after death by pain. You see, the same must know it after death by pain. Now let's keep reading. It says, verse 18, it says, and now when I prepared the world which was not yet made, even for them to dwell in, that now live, no man spake against me. It says, verse 20, so I considered the world. Now check this out. Check this out. Watch what I'm about to say. Because you have people who ain't here fulfilling no lot other than just wickedness, and that's what they're going to be taken out. It says, verse 20, 2nd Ezra 9 and 20, so I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And I saw and spared it greatly, check this out, and have kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. So the Lord is saying, look, the world have gone crazy, right? The world have gotten too wicked. So out of all these people and out of all this wickedness, I spared me a grape. You see, I spared me a grape out of the cluster. You see, and that's the ones who was born with a purpose. Out of everything that's going on, the Lord said, I spared me a people out of this. Because everybody else, let's find out. It says, and I saw and spared it greatly, and I have kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. So that's your elect who the Lord go keep safe. But the other ones, it says, and let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. One more time. After he saved his elect, he says, and for the other people, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. What vain mean? Let's see. As I said, useless. Maybe I was going too far. Maybe it's something a little better, right? Vain. See, on Google, useless. It says, New Oxford American Dictionary, producing no result. Useless. You're not here bringing forth nothing but taking up space, and that's so many people, and especially you Americans, man. Y'all just taking up space. So that's why the Lord go take you out, because you were just born in vain. You don't have no important part in this story. It says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. And that's another thing. Man, don't let these people of the world get to you. Remember that. Move around the world. Don't let these people in traffic, whatever, your co-workers, whatever it be, get to you, man. Remember, most of these people was born without a purpose. They were just born here to die. Truthfully, a lot of people was born just to die in a story. You know, they like the nigga in a scary movie. Nigga, you was just in the movie to die first. You see, that's a lot of these people in the world. You just gonna die, just die, and that's it. Your name it. Matter of fact, you know, when the credits roll down at the end of the movie, you know, some people got their characters and then their real name, and then the character they played in real name. Some people, you ain't even got no name of the character. You just got character 1, and then they named character 2. You ain't even got no character. Your character was named character. Character 3. In a coffee shop, character 4. Yeah, that's a lot of these people. You ain't even got a name for your character. You just here. Come on, man. It says, let the multitude perish then which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant. That's the elect. For with great labor have I made it perfect. You see that? But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh. Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Chakodash, and with that, Shalom.